Analyzing these three functions in a little more depth, operations is offensive or defensive operations, and I'm not going into a lot of details into this because it may be very very new to people who haven't understood these terms or heard of these terms ever. Let me keep it very basic. You can go through these slides, and if you feel there is something you are not able to understand, you can get back and ask in the doubts and discussions group. People may answer to each other, or if there is anything which requires my intervention, I'll be happy to answer myself also. So yeah, these were the three main functions, and in order to execute these functions, administrations, operations, and maintenance, there are certain qualities which are required in the person who is leading these three aspects. So cognitive functions, dynamic functions, affective functions, leadership, and social functions. These are five different types of traits which any person should have in order to do well in those three core functions that I mentioned. And DIPR is the body, Defense Institute of Psychological Research, which comes under DRDO, headquartered in Delhi. That is the psychological wing of the armed forces, and they organize these five types of traits into overall four factors. First factor is planning and organization. Second factor is social adjustment. Third is social influence, and fourth is dynamism. So if you have these four factors, and there are sub qualities in each of these factors, if you can display these qualities well, then it can be proven that you can become a good officer and do well in those three core functions of an officer throughout your career. So that is the logic behind testing for these four factors and the 15 OLQs. You will be you anyway know those qualities, but this is the background. What the armed forces does, what are the basic requirements of an officer, and how these qualities have come into consideration, and why these qualities are important in every aspirant in order to clear SSB. So this is where we'll start actual SSB related stuff. This background was important the first half an hour because unless you know this, you cannot understand why these qualities are important, and thereafter prepare yourselves accordingly. So yeah, factor one is planning and organization, the intellectual factor, mostly related to your brain. And why this is important, an officer is not a robot, right? You have to think, plan, organize, execute, do all these things, that too in very, very volatile situations. These situations are highly stressful, and usually there is no precedent. ऐसे textbook में लिखा नहीं है कि this situation will occur and this is how you need to handle it. Never. So these are extremely volatile situations, and you need to think on your feet, that too under stress. And success always depends on how well you plan and how well you make that plan work. So unless you are intellectually good, the planning and organization factor, unless you are strong in this, it is very very unlikely that you will succeed as an officer. So within this factor, you have four qualities: effective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability, and power of expression. Now let us try to understand what these qualities mean in military context and in the context of SSB, like what displays these qualities effectively. Effective intelligence is simple ability to produce solutions for practical day-to-day problems. It is not how you solve your OIR. It is not how you give answers in your exams like JEE, CDS, AFCAT, etc. Simple daily life problems, if you can solve, if you are smart enough to be present in that situation, वो बोलते हैं ना, being street smart, being jugadu, that is what effective intelligence is, and that is what helps you in doing well in the forces also. Practical solving of problems by improvising, by being ingenious, etc. Reasoning ability is being able to differentiate between things, grasping only the essential things, and coming to logical conclusions after analyzing whatever data is given to you. So being able to receive all the data well, asking the right questions, asking questions which are intuitive, not intuitive, sorry, insightful, and drawing logical conclusions out of them, and being able to give a reason to whatever you are saying. All this can be clubbed into reasoning ability. Organizing ability is simple resource management, being very systematic in your approach, and ability to gather and deploy resources in the right manner. That is your organizing ability. And power of expression, most of you would know. Having ideas is all this: effective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability. But how you express these ideas and how you communicate them with ease and clarity. And it does not mean language. When I say power of expression, it is not your English speaking ability. It is just your ability for you to convey your ideas to the other person with clarity and structure those ideas well. That is all power of expression is. uh, this is going into a little depth of effective intelligence. I will skip the in depth explanation of these qualities because I have almost covered the basic of these qualities here, and it will get a little too boring if I get into intelligence mein kya kya hoti hai, like different types, examples, etc. The slides are self explanatory. Please go through the slides one by one. And if there are doubts, please ask in the group. So, this was effective intelligence, this is reasoning ability, this is organizing ability, and power of expression. So, please go through these slides after the session. And if there are doubts, please do discuss with each other in the discussions group. Next comes factor 2, which is social adjustment. The first factor was mostly related to your brain. This factor is mostly related to your heart, to how you can adapt with people, how well you can cooperate with them, how well you can take responsibility of things, etc. Why this factor is important is military operations are never a one man effort. This is not some Bollywood movie where the hero goes, like, completely destroys a country and comes back. In reality, military operations are always team efforts. There is no one person who has done everything. There are always huge number of people who participate, and not even the group that actually participates. There are hundreds and thousands of people who have worked behind the scenes for you to do that operation well. So it is a big team, and because that factor is there, that nature of job is that everyone has to put in their efforts together and cohesively work towards one single goal. It is very important for a person to naturally be socially adaptable and cooperative and having a sense of responsibility towards the team. Otherwise, the person will be a misfit in the military setup. So yeah, this factor always ensures ki either the entire team wins or the entire team loses. Even in the academy, we have this saying: one for all for one. So if one man fails, the entire team fails, and if the team has to win, then everyone has to win. So that is your social adjustment factor. By social adaptability, I mean whether you are actively trying to fit yourself in or you are naturally gelling with your troops, whether you are socially intelligent, can you read other people's intentions? This is social tact. This is a skill which develops over time. Unless you have interacted with people throughout your life, unless you know how to behave in what context and how to get things done, it is very difficult for you to adapt uh, in different sets of people working together, because you will never be able to choose your team. In the military, you will be given a unit and you cannot choose your troops. You should still be able to work with them and successfully execute operations. So you should be adaptable in any environment. That is your social adaptability skill. And cooperation is willingly participating in a group context and still giving the required outcomes. It is not, you will not be given any reward at the end. It is the team that wins if you give your effort. And in that context, you can have, like, let's say in your college or corporate assignments, if it is a team effort, you'll always see some people working a lot and some people just free riding. So those free riders will never make good military people, because you cannot win the respect of your team, first thing. And obviously, if everyone does not put in their expected efforts, the outcome will also not be met. So your ability to willingly participate, to put yourselves through hardship, through pain, in order to achieve the group's outcome, not your own outcome, is what cooperation is. So you should be able to put your team's interests above your own. That is important when it comes to this cooperation quality. And yeah, once you are given an order, you need to execute wholeheartedly without questioning or without thinking twice. That also is cooperation with your superiors. And unity of effort. Despite having individual differences, you may disagree with your team, you may disagree with your senior also, but you will still do it because it is in the larger interest of the group. That whole uh, set of qualities can be grouped into cooperation. And sense of responsibility is uh, doing your job without expecting reward. Even in Bhagavad Gita, you must have heard karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So you should be doing your duty without expecting any glory, without expecting any reward at the end. That is how all armed forces personnel work, because you can never reward a person who is giving away his life or who is giving away 20, 30 years of his safe, happy, simple life in a metro city, in a civilian environment, for what sacrifices he is going through. So that ability to give yourself, give your life to duty and taking it as a responsibility, as a noble cause, that has to be within you. That is what sense of responsibility means. And obviously discipline is, mostly when I say discipline, it is self discipline. Like when no one is observing, will you be able to wake up every day? Will you be able to do your daily duties? Will you be able to do what you are supposed to do for that day? That is self discipline. And this is one quality which lacks in most aspirants, because you need short term tips and tricks, you need some jugards, you need some model answers for you to get recommended. But no one is, okay, not no one, but most of you are not willing to put in that constant efforts, that consistent disciplined efforts across a few months or maybe even few years in order to improve yourselves and ultimately get recommended. So that discipline, a lot of you, at least in people I have observed, is lacking. That quality has to be built. And overall, even without some duties being specified, you should be able to do them because it is required for the organization. So that sense of, organizational citizenship, owning the organization as your own, ये मेरा फौज है, मेरा देश है, मैं ये करूंगा, that internal, drive that comes, that also comes under sense of responsibility. And yeah, taking ownership of tasks and outcomes. This was my responsibility, and if anything goes wrong, I am the person answerable. That quality is sense of responsibility. Yeah, I don't want to get into further details. This is, I have explained to you these three qualities, and over the next three slides, I have gone into a little more depth. So, social adaptability, cooperation, and social influence. Okay, this is where factor 2 ends, sense of responsibility tak. We'll look at factor 3 now. What is leadership? What is your ability to influence other people in a group? In this factor, we have 5 qualities: initiative, self confidence, speed of decision, ability to influence others, and liveliness. So, why is this factor or these set of 5 qualities are important? Officers are responsible for the mission, right? So, leadership is that factor or that mechanism which enables you to influence your group meaning your subordinates, your uh, equals, and even your superiors for that matter, in order to achieve the mission. So that quality of leadership will directly impact how the group functions and ultimately how outcomes come out of that group. So yeah, that is why it is very important. And within leadership, initiative is uh, taking some action without any written orders, without anyone telling you, without any textbook method. You originating something out of your own will, that quality of yours is called initiative. And going beyond what is routine or what is usually expected is initiative basically. And not showing off intention by doing something, but honestly having it within you ki you should take initiative is, real initiative in order to meet organizational goals, in order to tackle your or not tackle but meet your responsibilities. You taking conscious action without any orders is initiative. Self confidence is self explanatory. I don't need to explain it. It is your faith in your own abilities. Even if there is uncertainty, even if there is ambiguity, you should be able to tolerate it because you are good, you are confident in yourself. वो quality अगर है तो you will be able to do things well. And you should be assured even when there is lack of information or lack of resources. So there may be missions where you know half information is given and you still take a lot of risk in order to execute it. But because you have confidence in your abilities, you will still go even with limited resources, limited information. That factor of believing in your own abilities is self confidence, which is very very important for any officer or any officer aspirant like you people. Speed of decision is your ability to take appropriate and quick decisions, because most of the times in the forces there is very little time for you to think and make a lot of analysis and then take a decision. You are expected to take decisions in split seconds. Like you look at a fighter pilot deciding whether or not to fire a missile, or you take a commander who is expected to give an order in the next 2 seconds. Other such instances where no officers are expected to take quick decisions, but those decisions should also be right, because wrong decisions come with very very bad repercussions. And this is not small thing, right? This is people losing their lives, people losing their limbs, families losing their loved ones, because there is life and death situation always when you become military leaders. So yeah, speed of decision is ability to take quick decisions but also right decisions. And yeah, uh, sorry. All right, that was speed of decision. And your ability to influence others is uh, दूसरों से काम कैसे निकलवाते हो basically. Your ability to draw maximum effort from your group. Someone just called. I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second, guys. There's some disturbance. I hope my screen is still visible. Yeah, let me continue. Ability to influence others is you drawing maximum effort from your group with either your tactfulness, your communication skills, your quality of persuading others, etc. And obviously, if there is initial resistance, if there is any hesitance in your team, your ability to overcome those come under ability to influence others. And liveliness is the opposite of adversity. Your ability to negate adversity and still be happy, still be jovial in your approach. That quality of yours, and it often prevents taking too much of stress or letting your team undergo low morale conditions. That uh, liveliness factors comes into place. And often you can associate with humor or resilience as well, because yeah, unless you are resilient to hardships, you are not being lively. And even if there are tough situations, just smile about it, take it lightly, and get along with it. That being chill, being cool, being lively, that quality is liveliness. And yeah, over the next few slides, I have gone into a little more depth with military examples of these qualities, but you can go through these slides. Because of lack of time, I am skipping through the slides. Please go through them in depth and understand why these qualities are required. All four factors. So yeah, influence and liveliness. Fourth factor is your dynamism, your strength of your body and mind, even with a lot of difficulty, even with a lot of adversities. You being able to survive through all those challenges and still coming out successful is your dynamism. And this factor consists of these three major qualities. determination, courage, and stamina. And when I say determination, I say having a purpose and being fixated on it. Like if you want to get recommended, then that quality of you. Sorry, I'm just getting another call. Oh. Just give me a moment, please. All right, let's continue. Yeah, determination, as I was telling, is having a purpose and being fixated on it. And even when the going gets tough, you enduring through that pain and still going along, maintaining that daily routine of yours or doing what is required for you to succeed in a task is determination. And obviously, your personal sacrifice of letting go of comfort, letting go of luxury, going consciously into difficult situations in order to achieve your goals is your quality of determination. Courage is your ability to take risk. In simple terms, your ability to put your own life, put your own safety into risk because there is some higher purpose to you doing it. So yeah, ability to risk your own body and your mind in order to achieve what you are supposed to achieve. And you can categorize courage into physical courage, mental courage, and moral courage. Physical and mental is mostly self-explanatory. Moral courage is your ability to own up to your own mistakes. अगर मैंने गलती किया है तो yes, this is my mistake and I'll try to rectify it. That ability of yours to accept your own failures, that is moral courage. Stamina, self-explanatory. Yeah? Physical stamina is you undergoing a lot of fatigue and hardships and still continuing with your duties. Mental stamina is you being able to focus and being able to do your task for a long time in spite of stress, in spite of a lot of hardships, is your mental stamina. And I have tried to explain these qualities in further depth and given some military examples and further context over the next 2-3 slides. You can go through them in detail and discuss amongst yourselves after this session. So yeah, after knowing all these four factors and the 15 officer-like qualities, yeah, good Josh, buddy. You've seen this video till the end, and that already shows me that you have a spark in you. You can become a truly remarkable officer. If you want one-on-one personal guidance from me, you can always contact me and enroll yourself in my personal guidance program. And this is just the beginning. So keep your spirits high and watch all the remaining videos in this SSB Bro Mentorship Program series. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and make sure you learn and practice regularly. All the best to you. Jai Hind.